Cheers, everybody. Happy Sunday to all of you. Let's see who we have in chat today. Hope you guys are having a good day. Let me know what you guys are drinking. Hit that like, hit that share, that subscribe, all that fun stuff YouTube likes us to do. Hey, cheers, Peter White. It is good to see you. We got Zen Boot in here. Cheers to you, Zen Boot. Sugar Kitty. It is good to see you, good sir. Gang's all here. That is right. I almost didn't go live tonight because there's a whole bunch of kind of crap going on with us in our lives, but I missed you. I would miss you guys. And I'm excited about next week, so I wanted to really pitch that. Hey, cheers, Doug H. Cheers, everyone. It is good to see you. Good to see you, Doug. And I think, Doug, you're going to be a new grandfather. If I saw the news right on Instagram, let me know. I'm pretty sure that was you. I read that about on Instagram. Hey, cheers, Kathy Huey. It's good to see you, Kathy. Mr. Mom 310 cheers everyone, 4-Leaf Whiskey, and everyone. So I wanted to do this. This is a list. I think, people ask you to say your favorites. And depending on the time of year, depending on what you have, those are always evolving and changing. So I decided to pick what my favorites are right now. These are five bottles that I find myself reaching for, or at least, one of them is a little pricey and would be very difficult to replace. So thinking about how much I enjoy it. So I am starting. Let me know what are your favorites right now at the moment? I'm going to be starting with one, picked it up at the airport or kind of in a rush. Otherwise, I wish I would have gotten a couple of these. Bushmills Blackbush 8020 PX Sherry. So this one is an airport exclusive that you can get. I know you can get it in the airports in Ireland. For some reason, I want to say you could get it in London too, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't know if James is here, one of you. No, I don't think James is here yet. He would know. James might know. But if you find yourself through the one of the airports in Ireland, really great deal, 1 liter bottle. I have really thoroughly enjoyed this since I was home. It's 40%, but honestly, for a cheap airport exclusive, I can deal with that. Can absolutely deal with that. Oh, it was you. Congratulations, Doug. So exciting. That was a great Christmas present. Oh, who else? Ah, Amy. How you doing, Amy? Cheers. It's good to see you. Mr. Gunderson. Cheers to you. Eric. PX Sherry, everybody do yourself a favor and don't ask that lady if she has a black bush. Yeah. Yeah. Just went right there. Oh, I forgot to grab that. I'll grab it later. I really am enjoying the heck out of this one. So this is 80% PX Sherry finished malt against a 20%, I think it's bourbon cask finished single grain. And I mean, on the nose, that sherry hits you. It is reminiscent of regular Blackbush, but it's just kind of got a more of a sherry bomb kind of a nose to it. Ah, Amy is as well. Amy enjoyed the 80/20. Wish we had another bottle. Yeah. I mean, on secondary, I don't think it would be too much to pick these up. They were when this first came out, they were flooded. Secondary market was flooded with them. Unfortunately, you don't see them as much, but still, I mean, it wouldn't be a bad price on it to pick one of these up. So if you like those notes that are in Redbreast PX Cast, you're going to enjoy this one. I get those same more chocolatey notes than orange. I do get a little more orange on the Redbreast PX, but I do get a lot of those milk chocolatey notes on this one. Hey, speak of the devil. We were just talking about Mr. James Morgan evening. Stacy and all you Irish fans. My first pour, James, is the Bushmills 80/20 PX Sherry. This is an airport exclusive, and I'd heard rumors that this was also available at Heathrow. And I don't know if maybe you had heard something about this one. It's available in all the Irish airports. But I thought if anybody you might know. I can't remember if I read that or not. I thought I did, but There are so many Irish bottles going everywhere now, it's hard to remember. I asked the cocktail waitress in Vegas was if she had Blackbush. My client there wanted something Irish. I totally flubbed the course on the phrasing. Yeah, that one's a tricky one. That one's one that could get you into some trouble. The red one is discontinued. Oh, you'll ask around. Okay. The red, yeah, the red bush. I don't. It's not one of my favorites, so I'm not going to miss it. But so I did want to get your take on this too. So if you had not followed the news, there's been a bit of controversy here in Ohio with a new bill that was just introduced this past week. So let me share this. So this Ohio senator, because clearly everything has been resolved in Ohio, it's a wonderful place, and this is all we got to do. He has introduced a bill that would require liquor stores to open the high demand bottle and reseal it after a sale, which in most instances would involve removing any plastic and a cork, then putting a sticker on the cork and placing it back in the bottle. He believes this will help put an end to the secondary market by reducing reseller demand. So I would like to get your take on this. So you're in line to get a bottle of bourbon, and you get your bourbon, and they are opening the bottle right in front of you to reseal it. I did hear that he was in the line a few weeks ago when we had a drop of, it was Blanton's, it was E.H. Taylor, it wasn't Stag Jr., it wasn't Weller, I can't remember what else was there, and he did not get anything. The other part of this bill that is being introduced is that they would put all of these allocated bottles in a like a timed safe. So the employees themselves don't know when the safe's going to open to start selling these. I don't know what I think the thing is he is trying to combat employees tipping off, Reddit and Discord on bottles that are going to be dropping. The thing is, when those employees do that, because one of them did it just for Single Barrel Saturday, and he actually put enough out there in his message that it was easy to identify the store. Store pulled the video. They could see the employee pulling out his phone, taking a picture. Employee was canned. They usually do find the employees. Employees do usually get canned. So I don't know what they're hoping to accomplish here by doing that. I think instead of having people line up at stores in the beginning of the, early in the morning, you're just going to have them there all flipping day. Is all that's going to do. But curious to get your take on this. So what would you think about something like this happening near you? It's been we all don't think it'll pass. We think it's kind of the vast majority of people I think it's a bit ridiculous. I don't flip bottles myself. You guys know I open all of them and I share all of them. That being said, I do gift bottles to people, so I would be pretty PO'd to have, buy a nice bottle as a gift and have it open. I mean, nobody wants to give an open bottle of whiskey to somebody. I mean, even if you knew that that was the way the state operated, I mean, it's just, yeah. Now that's a control state. Yes, that's a control. Yes. Well said, Peter. Well said. Yes. Yeah, it's terrible. It's your business to do what you want with the bottle. Yeah, and I honestly I don't think it's gonna diminish the secondary market at all, because if they know that that is what Ohio is doing, they're still gonna sell them. But yeah, there's been a lot of talk about this. There's been a lot of suggestions. A lot of people have suggested to do what Buffalo Trace does, to where once you buy a certain bottle, your ID is flagged, so you cannot buy that bottle again within 90 days. I think that would resolve it. It's pretty easy to do, but that's the bit of controversy here in the Buckeye State this past week. Close that. Quit. Okay. So let me know what you guys think. If you think that work, think it'd be a terrible idea. If you think you have an alternate solution, You got another idea that might work. Nobody thinks this actually is going to pass. They think it's kind of ridiculous, like I said, for the most part. I don't see this passing the sniff test with the number of lawsuits. It's probably going to come down after it, but it was an interesting bit of news this week. Nobody kind of saw that one coming. So, hey, Nick Proman. Cheers to you. How are you doing? So we are going to move on here to our second pour. Let me know what you guys are drinking, or if you've already cracked into something. If you've got water, you're not quite there yet. If you're having a beer, watching the game. The Browns have already sufficiently lost for the day, so I'm done with football for the weekend. All right. Buyers aren't going to care if it's safely resealed anyway. Sellers will, as long as there is a buyer. Only way you'll catch them is to pose as a buyer with or without the law. Yeah, it's just pointless. It's absolutely pointless. It's not going to stop anything. It's going to actually just add one more step for the stores to have to deal with, frankly. And they already have to deal with the allocated bourbon. It gets a little crazy here in Ohio. Oh, you do this already with allocated at your local store. You open it up before you leave to share it with employees to try if they want to taste. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. My only thing is, it's an overstep, I think, because like I said, I do like to regift some of them. So, or I might pick up a bottle. Well, I'm not gonna probably. I've picked up, bottles like Weller Special Reserve for people. And so I wouldn't want that opened. Um, I don't know. I don't think it's really gonna help anything either. That's the whole thing. It's tricky. It is tricky how to balance that out. But you are like me. You share your whiskey. I do that as well. Every single bottle in my house is open. Hey, Sean Holgrave. Cheers to you. Cheers, everyone. And sup, dudes to all. How are you doing? Hey, Christine Vasco. Cilantro, y'all. Christine, we were just discussing the new proposed legislature here in Ohio about having to open allocated bottles before they leave the store. How they're talking about a senator proposed the bill that they would he actually just called them high demand of spirits. So it's not just bourbon, but that's what he meant. Where they would open the bottle, take the plastic off, pop the cork, put a sticker on the cork, pop it back in to try to discourage the secondary market. Hey, Bourbon Neophyte Anthony. Anthony is going live 7:30 Eastern Standard Time tonight with some pub style fun. So make sure we'll be done here so everybody can pop over, watch Anthony stream. Anthony, how are you doing? Yeah, I'd invite him back. Screw flippers one way or the other. Yeah. I'm not a fan of flippers. It's pretty bad here. But there's plenty of great bourbon out there to go around. I don't really try to get stuff on the shelf. I participated in the Single Barrel Saturday because, like I said, I had the dog in that hunt, helping out with the Nulu pick. I just woke up from an afternoon nap. I'm sipping on an orange and cream sparkling water. That sounds good. I'll get something after I eat dinner a bit. That sounds really good. Sean, if I open the bottle at the store, isn't that open container on the ride home? So that was everybody's question too. But apparently, since they are putting a state approved seal on it at the store, it would not be considered open container. And I mean, they do it with wine. They can recork wine. And I mean, honestly, it's just a piece of freaking masking tape they put over it that the state considers as not an open container. But that's an excellent question. That's exactly what I thought as well. And I'm a lot of people thought that. Ah, yeah, there's Bourbon Neophyte. So Anthony is going live tonight. Lemon flavor yuzu. Very nice if you like a citrus finish. That sounds yummy. That sounds very good. We ordered pizza tonight for dinner. I tell you, I had a time getting pizza because apparently our kind of a go-to pizza place. was closed today and failed to notify Uber Eats. So we'd ordered the pizza, waited a half hour, guy went to the store to get it, and hey, they're closed. You ain't getting no pizza. So then I got hungry and splurged on the upgraded DoorDash to get it brought here faster so I could eat before I jumped on here with you guys. Oh, it makes me glad I live in Missouri. Yeah, it kind of Peter White kind of nailed it. It is taking control state to a whole new level. Hey, cheers, Whiskey Shaman. It's good to see you. How are you doing? The exact text of the law changes the existing open container law to make allocated resale an allowed exception. Yeah, they do the same thing with like recorked wine bottles here. So my next pour is one. This is not a new bottle. This is one I reach for every year this time of year. And just I've drank it so many times. Usually when I'm making cookies, it just reminds me of kind of Christmas time. Redbreast Listo. This is was considered now the first in the Iberian series from Redbreast. This is 46% ABV, Oloroso sherry finish. This one is marzipan. I get such big marzipan notes on this, that kind of a candied almond. You get a little bit kind of a dried, kind of a fig note on this. A lot of vanilla. Love the woody notes on this one. But that almond comes through so much on here. It really reminds me kind of a Christmas time. It reminds me of if you've got like a world market near you, they always have the German Stollen this time of year, and they have one that has marzipan in the middle. And that is what this flipping bottle reminds me of, is that marzipan Stollen. And it's so freaking good. It has been a little bit. It's amazing. I have this bottle on my shelf all the time, and I won't think to pick it up throughout the year. And as Thanksgiving kind of wraps up, I always go to this one. It is delicious. Yeah, it's a good one. Um, it's creeped up in price, but it's still kind of manageable. It's right around 80 here. I know it's less other places because I usually have people get it for me other places. Love Red Brussels though. Yeah, it is a really good one. If you think Ohio is a control state, Pennsylvania literally is entirely controlled and no one is allowed to own a liquor store, worse than Ohio. If PA wanted to do that, they wouldn't need a law. Yeah, I have been to the PA stores, to the beer stores, where you have to do that. And my husband has picked me up beer before to where they said you had to buy it like six at a time at a store that's like outside of the state store. And they made multiple trips. It's crazy. My friend actually just brought me back some Pennsylvania beer. Um, is it Blockhouse, I think? I think it's the name of it. I think it's Blockhouse. I always forget the name of it. It's a double chocolate Bock. It is. It's Blockhouse double chocolate Bock. Pittsburgh Brewing Company. It's good. It's good. It's way better than the Hershey Yingling. Way better. I did an Irish flight watching Say Nothing whilst I was in that flight. Gosh, I haven't seen that movie in so long. Or was that, no, that was are you talking about the series on Netflix? I think you're talking about the series on Netflix. I just wrapped that up. That was really, really good. That was a great series. I'm thinking Say Anything is the movie I'm thinking about. Aldi's, yeah, Aldi's does sell the Stolen as well. But I can never find that marzipan one at our Aldi's. Okay, yeah, you're talking about the Netflix or the Hulu. It's on Hulu. I'm sorry. It was really good. It was. I was thinking at first when you first said that, I was thinking Say Anything, that movie. I haven't seen that in a long time. Beer was changed now. It used to be you had to go to a distributor for beer. They could only sell a case at a time. If you want a six pack, only a bar could sell it to you. Yeah, that was what it was. Yeah. It's been a little while since he's done that, but yeah, my friend just went to the beer store and came back with a couple cases of this double chocolate Bock beer. And it's a seasonal thing. So luckily we had him grab another one because he said when he first went in and got it, they had an entire pallet. He went back 2 weeks later and they were down to 4 cases left. So he got all of them. The amount of just the oakiness and the almond coming off the nose. Oh, this is so good. So yummy. Hey, Cool Running. Hi, Stacy. Everyone in chat, cheers. Oh, you're some gender appropriate cake. I have no idea. My German is a little rusty. Ah, Nick just poured some. You know, this is still one of my favorite. It's not my absolute favorite in the Iberian series, but you know, it might be a second. I don't know, that airport one, the Quattro Barrias is pretty good too. The Tawny Port still lasts for me, but Listo is just always a classic. It's always going to be so, so good. So while we're here sipping on this, before I get to my next one, next week, mark your calendars. My start time will be getting moved up to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is to accommodate our very special guest next week, which is Sir Maurice O'Connell from Wayward Irish Spirits. So Wayward Irish Spirits makes all of this great stuff right here called the Liberator Irish whiskey. Maurice is going to be joining us from his family home in Killarney. So I want to make it a little bit easier for him. So super excited about that. He's going to be able to tell us the history of his family. He is a descendant of Daniel O'Connell, who is known as the Liberator, first Irishman to Parliament. And he's going to tell us kind of how he got into distilling, where they're at, about their releases, what their direction is. It's going to be really exciting. I actually do have this was his grain to glass bottle, the Lakeview Single Estate. It's their single pot still. So I'm sure we'll be having a sip of that. But it's going to be super exciting. Morris has been everywhere lately. He's been to the Czech Republic, he's been to India. So I was really glad to be able to nail him down and get a date to have him as a guest. It's going to be super fun. I'm so excited. He's just a wonderful man. Yeah, Christine has met him. Sir Morris is wonderful. Yeah, he's really, really nice. And all his whiskey is great. I've been a fan since his first release in 2020. He was one of those unfortunate distillers to have his first whiskey release in March of 2020. Worst freaking time you could ever launch a whiskey. So he has done very well. And honestly, I don't think there's a better port finished Irish out there. It's really so good. All right, we're gonna wrap this one up. Oh, that's so good. So yummy. Alrighty. Let's move to the next pour. So the next pour is one you have to be in this a whiskey club to have access to. Yeah, or the best time to launch a whiskey. Everybody's home drinking. Yeah, you can't really market it though. That's the trick, is how do you get it to people and market it? And I know a couple brands actually that launched right about that time, so it was a little tricky for them. Now they're still in business. They're both coming along. But it did definitely add another kind of layer or complexity to it. So this next one, I'm really glad I got 2 bottles because I find myself going to this one all the time. This is a Clonakilty Irish single pot still whiskey, but this one has been completely matured in a virgin American oak cask. And I'll have the camera to focus here. Nope, it's not going to. So this one was done. I love the color on this too. That's a natural color. So this one was done for Stories and Sips Whiskey Club. For those of you not familiar with that whiskey club. It is a paid Irish whiskey club. It is $20 a month membership, and you have access to these barrels, these whiskeys as they release. There's also cash shares that are involved. And I think they're typically 3 to 4 releases, Irish whiskey releases a year. They range from, there's been a 19-year-old Dunvilles that, is a couple $100 to, things like the Clonakilty, which is, I think it was like $75, something like that. So they vary. There's good variety there. Um, there's been some Talnua cash shares, there's Keeper's Heart cash shares. So I also know who runs it, but I've gotten my worth out of this one. I've also got, it's on the floor now. I forgot I moved it. There has been a Short Cross Irish whiskey release. It's right there, Clonakilty. That's not Clonakilty, that's Cullowen. Cullowen had a release. Cullowen's actually, it was at the time, it was their oldest single pot still. It was a 4-year-old. So this one, I was really excited about. You guys know I had Sean Scully on here, and Sean got to talk about their single pot still whiskeys that they're doing at Clonakilty now. So I was really excited to see a single pot still release and a virgin American oak all maturation. That is really different. That's unique. That kind of caught my attention. Let's see. I bought a ton of whiskey during COVID, only 10 people in the store at a time. I bought a ton of whiskey during COVID, and UPS was visiting me a lot. Yeah. That's how, I think that's how a lot of us honestly got started. Oh, Amy's got this one too. Love this bottle. Looking forward to the tasting event tomorrow. Yeah, that's another thing. With this club, they'll do meet the maker events after they do these whiskey. Well, even without doing the whiskey releases, but they'll do them where you have the opportunity. It's basically a big Zoom call, and you can kind of throw your questions out to the maker. So Oshimo Keiki will be on this call tomorrow discussing this whiskey. So I love the color of this. I mean, it smells like oak. It has just those oaky notes that you kind of get with bourbons, and tobacco on the nose. Little dark chocolate. This is yummy. Is it close to a Dingle Batch 6 as an age and proof? The proof on this one is 53% ABV. Dingle Batch 6 is I'd say that would be close to this Liberator as the closest. I don't think the age are the same. I think the Dingle's a bit older, but the Dingle Batch 6 is all port cask maturation, and it's ruby port cask. Which I have a bottle, but it's all the way up there on the top shelf. I'm curious to see what Dingle is going to do. They've had this Wheel of the Year series that replaced this batch series, James, that you have. So they did the batch series, they went up to batch 6, and then they switched to this Wheel of the Year series. And the last Wheel of the Year series, it just came out. So what's next? And they haven't really said anything. And I don't see them make an announcement anytime soon. So I don't know if they're, if they've got something in the works and it's just not ready, if they're going to try to sell off, as many of the bottles they currently have. I don't know. Don't know what's going on with them. Let me know if you've heard anything about Dingle Distillery. I haven't heard a peep. This one is really good. I might have to include this in some kind of a Patreon giveaway. Maybe next month. Maybe I'll do all my stories and sips bottles for that. It is very reminiscent of bourbon. But it's not exactly like bourbon because the edges are definitely softer. It almost reminds me of somebody blended like a Woodford double oaked and maybe a Talnua Wide American Oak, because I'm also getting a lot of those malty notes in this. Yeah, it's spicy, it's malty, it's chocolatey. Really nice pour. If you're a fan of double barrel or double oak bourbon fans will like this one. Will like that one. Would like that one a lot. And I find myself going to that one quite a bit. Hey, Adam. Cheers to you. How are you doing? Liz B coming in late. Liz, you're just in time. We're about right 10-15 minutes away from doing the Patreon giveaway, which at that time I'm gonna have to turn off my camera and hop over because I forgot to grab the Patreon giveaway gift. It's sitting over there on the floor. If I asked for Bushmills and a Dingle at the same time, I think the Vegas cocktail just would have had me arrested. You know, let me tell you, there is a reason why you cannot tag Dingle Distillery and things on Instagram. I think they're kind of over the whole thing. And yeah, you can't tag them in a post anymore. And I have a feeling that is entirely why. Beautiful area of Ireland, though. Beautiful area. Go with a Manachmore port finish. Manachmore. Is that Scotch? Sounds Scottish. It sounds Scottish. I think the dog wandered up here. This one is really good. Now the regular single pot still is in the States, and I know it is making its way across the country. So they have increased distribution. I love that one. It is right there in the box. I love that one. I think it's a great single pot still for the price. I think it's only like $55-$65. Um, I think that's what Sean Scully said it was going to be. So it's a very, very good one. Cask Craft from Murray McDavid. Sketchy Scotch. That's what I thought. I thought it sounded like Scotch. It sounded Scottish. Oh, you have one of my favorite. You know, Peter, that's another one that I really enjoy. And I've got the bottle on the top shelf and I forget it's there. It's that Tyrconnell 16 Moscatel Oloroso. I really enjoy that one. That's one of those bottles where one of the few bottles me and Donald disagree on is that one. He thinks it's disjointed. I like it. I think it's they round each other out. Yeah, the West Coast is amazing. Dingle, Ring-a-Carry, Cliffs of Moher. Cliffs had horrible there's a very bad storm rolling through right now. So the Cliffs had horrible waves this morning. I know it was closed today. Um, just my 2 cents. So if you only have time for one of you have to hit the Ring-a-Carry or the Dingle Peninsula. I would go Dingle Peninsula all day long. Beautiful drive. Then you get to the town of Dingle. It's really cool little place. We wandered off the tourist path up the hill, and there is a little pub there called J. Curran's. And if you've seen the documentary Irish Pubs, it's one of the pubs in the documentary. And you see that old floor that they have still there, and half of it was still kind of a grocer with all kinds of little things you could buy. And they were all watching hurling, and they were all speaking Gaelic. We were the only ones they spoke actually like English to. They all spoke Gaelic to each other. So Dingle's a cool place to visit. It really is. We didn't get there. We stayed all up north this last trip. And I've made promises, so I am gonna have to get back over some point and get back down to the south. Mostly over to the West Coast. I would have to take probably 3 trips to get all these visits in. But this one is it's a really good one. Honestly, check out if you're wanting to get big into Irish whiskey, check out Stories and Sips Irish Whiskey Club. It's not for everybody. It's $20 a month, so it's a monthly commitment you got to make to have access to these bottles. So it's not going to be for everybody. But you'll have access if you decide that it is for you. You'll have access to a lot of good content, a lot of good bottles. I know Amy is in it as well, and she's gotten Amy. I think you've bought all of them as well. I don't know if you got the short cross peated one. That one I bought a ton of. I liked it. I sent it out to everybody. Jim, pinch hitter, I sent him one for his birthday. I think I gave one to Shayla, I think I gave one to Jason Mashadrum. I give a lot of thank yous of that bottle. That one is so good. Like I said, that one I've kind of learned from, especially I think my friends actually talked me into it, to pick up multiples of each bottle, because I always get like immediately halfway down the bottle and then get bummed out because I don't have enough a backup. And then I'm looking on secondary trying to find, or talking to friends trying to find backups of these freaking bottles. Oh yeah, you even bought the peated, not your favorite, but the club is worth every penny. I like it. It's not one that I go to all the time. It's a peated Irish whiskey, Irish single malt that's finished in an orange liqueur, uh, seasoned cask that had cognac in it. So you got an orange liqueur, you got the cognac notes coming through. Um, the other kicker is it's 66% ABV, so it's a perfy one, but it's really a lovely pour. Have you tried many Talisker port influenced? I have not. I will tell you, James, Talisker. I'm not a fan of Talisker. Um, it tastes salty to me. It tastes briny. I don't like it. I've only had, is it Talisker 10? Is that their kind of staple one, that core one? It's the only one I've had. Watching the Bills get dismantled is tough today. Yeah. You know what, Peter, I turned away. I saw the score heading in that direction with the Browns and Steelers, and I'm like, yeah, nope, not today. We're gonna have a good day, and I'm just not gonna watch it, and I'm just gonna turn away, knowing fully well they're gonna lose. That's just how the season's gone. I'm not a huge NFL fan. I watch more college football, to be honest. Hey, Joe. Cheers to you, Joe. It's good to see if you guys are not subscribed to Independent Joe. I'm pretty sure all you guys are. If you're not, make sure you give him a follow. It's a great show. Joe and I are going to be getting together on another date because Joe was kind enough to send me a blind flight when I sent him some samples. And I'm really excited to try these. We were hoping today, but I kind of had to play it by ear, not knowing what's going on. All right. I am going to pour my next pour here. So this is a newer bottle that I picked up. So when we did this tour in Ireland that I just came back from, some of the distilleries had exclusive bottlings for our tour group. And this is one that we received at Cullowen Distillery, which you guys know I'm kind of a massive Cullowen geek. This one is a single pot still 3-year-old whiskey that was finished in a Pinot Noir Firkin. It's 57% ABV. And I bet you're not gonna be able to. Yeah, I'm thinking my camera is not gonna focus on that. So this is called the Whiskey Bus exclusive Barentool. Kinda. Sometimes it'll catch and sometimes it won't. But 3-year-old whiskey, Pinot Noir, and I thankfully got one of these for me and one for my husband because I'm already halfway through this bottle. And it's so flipping good. And you're going to hear more about this bottle on Wednesday because I sent samples of this to Hello Again Whiskey Friends. So hopefully none of them are in chat, although I labeled bottle, but they're going to be getting to try this on Wednesday. This is one of the samples I sent them. It's a frickin' Firkin finish, Mr. Finnegan. I say that 3 times fast. Nice. Just it's amazing the color on it. This is what Irish whiskey should look like. This is 3 years old. Pinot Noir, so it's got a little bit of a rosy tone to it. Doesn't need artificial coloring. Oh, so you get like a burnt brown sugar and cherries and strawberries. Amy, I don't know if Amy is still in here. O'Byrne's Irish Pub. Let me know if you managed to get one of these. If not, I'll make sure you get a sample of it. Amy is a very big Cullowen fan as well. So we are working on Cullowen. They picked up a new distributor in the US. So Cullowen and Two Stacks both are you're gonna start seeing them a lot more places. The Irish cream is the first one because the Irish cream doesn't have to follow the same regulations of whiskey. So that one's going nationwide. You're going to see it everywhere. It is amazing. Um, they are the best Irish cream you've had. It's better. I actually am going to do a video with the Two Stacks Irish cream compared to Bailey's because I actually found a little Bailey's downstairs. Bailey's tastes flippin' terrible compared to it. It's crazy. Crazy. Joke's on me. I'll be jamming the Hollies all evening now. Oh, you don't have that one. Okay. That is so yummy. I kind of get like a flat cherry Coke on this one. Or like those little you know the wax candies that had the Coke inside of them? Kind of like those. Those that you get at Halloween where you have to like bite the top off and it's got the little liquid inside that's like Coke flavored. That is so yummy. I think it is a winner when done. Most finishes are winner when done well. I would agree with that. There are some bad finishes. Although, the one finish that I really struggle with, and I have yet to find something that really just wowed me, was actually tequila finish. No, it's tequila's tough. Tequila's tough. All right, guys. I am gonna hop over here and grab something real quick. And yes, I have not uploaded my new logo to my new computer. So you just have to see this. I do seriously do need to get that done though. I noticed that last week and still haven't gotten it done. All right. I'm gonna get to our last pour, but if you are a paid Patreon member, you're gonna get a chance to win this friend at hand sample package. So there are, I don't want to open it and leave it for you guys, but there are two sample size bottles of the friend at hand 13-year single malt reconciliation. And you get a nice friend at hand Glencairn in here. So if you are over to Ireland, highly recommend friend at hand. Friend at Hand is probably one of the best whiskey shops I've ever been in worldwide. It is located in Belfast, around the corner from the Duke of York pub. Very popular area of Belfast. Great shop. It's also kind of a museum. Actually, the majority of the bottles in Friend at Hand you can't buy. They've got all of the dream casks. They've got all of the silent distillery bottles, and they've got a space for the next silent distillery bottle. They've got all of the older Bushmill stuff, a bunch of historic items. It's crazy. I recorded a lot of content on it. I'm working on getting a video. Probably I'm planning it for a little closer to St. Patrick's Day, but we got to try this whiskey when we were there. It's a really nice bourbon cask finish, single malt. So somebody is going to be taking that home. And I wanted to do the Patreon giveaway early so I could get it to you guys for the holidays. So I want to make sure you had it by Christmas. Tequila tastes like regret, right? It's just really hard to do a whiskey finished in a tequila cask. And I've got Irish that are done in tequila casks. I haven't tried a bourbon. I don't know if are there any bourbons that are finished in tequila cask? I will say I think bourbon's it's tougher to finish a whiskey in bourbon. Um, you've got to put so much of the finish to really balance out the strong notes of the bourbon, so it can get overdone real easy. I've had some bad bad finished bourbons. I've had some bad finished Irish too. And you do it right, you do it right, you do it wrong. It's not pleasant for anyone. Friend at hand is the Disneyland for an Irish whiskey lover. It really is. It really is. It's like heaven. You walk in that store, it's like a combination of like having a grandma's house where there's just so much to look at all over the walls. And there's so much of the historic, the little knickknacks, it's just, I mean, you just stand there and just kind of stare around and it don't move for a while. And we're like they knew who we were when we walked in. There's a few of us in our group, they know us. And so they have a velvet rope kind of roping off the main room from people. And he's like, yeah, just go ahead. So I got to go back behind the velvet rope and record everything. So it's pretty cool. Oh, you believe you like, yeah, you and Joe are chirping back and forth. Oh, the 2023 Lagavulin 12-year cask strength is finished in tequila cask, not my favorite. I've yet to let me tell you, Eric, I've yet to meet anybody who actually says my favorite finish is tequila cask. Whiskey drinkers, you're not going to probably get that. Probably not. I'll tell you, there's a reason why this thing is already half empty. And I've actually had to make a mental note not to go back to it. So good. It's so good. It does have notes that remind me a bit of the Two Stacks cherry brandy cask that you guys know I love. All right, before we get to our Patreon giveaway here, I'm gonna do my last pour. And I'm gonna break out this special glass. I mean, see it? It says Ecklinville Irish whiskey for this one. So our last whiskey is Dunville's. So this is one, I absolutely love this. And I have to put this on the highest shelf up here. So I don't immediately drink it because this wasn't the cheapest bottle to get. This also, I would have to take a flight back to Belfast to get another bottle. And I'm not even sure they still have them available, to be honest. I think they've sold them all. Because I was on their website the other day and I didn't see it listed. So, this one is a 23-year-old whiskey. It is a Palo Cortado cask finish. It is 53.7% ABV. This was done specifically for the Friend at Hand shop in Belfast. And yeah, it's not going to focus. No, it's not going to. All right. Gifts for me for my birthday next year, new camera. So check out the color in this. That is gorgeous. If you are not familiar with Dunvilles, Dunvilles are known for their sherry finished whiskeys. I mean, they are known for leaving, these whiskeys in the sherry cask for a very long amount of time. You get a lot of sherry. You do get a little of, I've had some that kind of go into pencil shavings, just because it happens when you have a whiskey in a sherry cask that long. But this one, I get none of that. This one is all kind of goodness. It is an absolutely beautiful whiskey. I have a very nice husband that let me pick this one out, and we have the Friend at Hand Redbreast 18-year all sherry matured whiskey. So, oh yeah, thank you, Joe. Yeah, if you want to get in on these, I think I don't know what I'm going to do next month. March is going to be a big one. I'm going to do something special for March. But maybe I'll give away like all of the stories and samples that I have for next month. All the whiskey, or just Whiskey Club in general. Because I've got a few from Middleton Barrel Club as well. So maybe we'll do that. Maybe next month we'll do where you get samples of all the Whiskey Club bottles. There are like 5 or 6 in there. I would settle for the Dunville's 12 cask strength, but ain't finding that one either. I haven't found that one. I did bring home the 10-year PX cask strength. So that one did come home with me. And I had it was cask. It's not 11.97. That's the 21-year Palo Cortado. Is it cask? Maybe 8.93, something like that. I don't know. It's all the way up there. But that one, I had a bottle, and they had it still at the distillery shop at Ecklinville, so I went and grabbed another bottle of that one there. The pricing of Dunville's places them at a premium brand. Yes. Which I mean, the thing about the Dunvilles, you're gonna get a little higher ABV. Even the 10 and 12 year, 46%. So for the whiskey, it's a good whiskey. That's the only thing I can tell you. The 12-year, I freaking love that 12-year PX. Even at non-cask strength, I love that one. I almost grabbed another bottle of that one. Actually, James, while I was at Ecklinville, but we had picked up a 20, is it 20 year? Yes, 20 year, which is another one that I sent to Hello Again Whiskey Friends. So we picked up the 20 year. We picked up the old Comber. We had 2 bottles of the Whiskey Bus bottles, and we picked up a Bon Pachin, and we picked up then the 10-year cask strength. So I was like, okay, I trying to spread the love here. I knew Ecklinville would be one of the place we'd spend a lot. I knew that would be. There are certain spots that I knew. I'm like, all right, I can walk out of here with nothing more than a t-shirt, and there were one that's like whew, leaving scorch marks on the credit card. Oh, hey, Sean, your birthday is in March. Oh, that'll be awesome. March is the best month. My birthday's not in March, but there's a lot going on in March. March is a fun time. I bet that wasn't cheap at a guess 180. For which one? Do you mean the 10-year cask strength? It wasn't that much. No, it wasn't that much. If that's what you mean. Yeah, the Dunville's Three Crowns, the sherry cask is their affordable series. The other one is the 1608. Is it 16? No, 1808. Yeah. And they're starting to do different finishes than that. That one we got kind of a sherry finish. So I've noticed they've been doing a few things. Oh, the Dunville's 12 PX is 150 in Canada. Oh, even yeah, Ontario, you get a little crazy. Oh, the Palo Cortado, if you mean this one. Oh, this was more than that. Yeah. That was more than that. I think it was I want to say like 295 pounds, 295 pounds, something like that. 225 pounds, something like that. Yeah, that's the only bad thing about Irish whiskey. When you start getting up in those older bottles, the price gets a little crazy. I don't even remember what I paid for that 10-year, to be honest. Oh, the amount of fruit coming through on this thing. It's apples and citrus and strawberries. Whole lot of vanilla, a little bit of smells like pineapple. A little bit of grapefruit. It's so good. The thing that throws me about this one is, and then one of the reasons I love it, I'm not getting those typical Palo Cortado notes that I get with a Palo Cortado finish. Typically on a Palo Cortado finish, especially a single malt, I'm getting those Danish butter cookies, a little bit of almond, the real buttery shortbread. This one, I don't get that. I mean, I get a little bit of like kind of a shortbread cookie, but I get so much tropical fruit on this. It's just citrus and pineapple and grapefruit and a little bit of apple. Whole lot of orange, a little bit of apricot, very long finish. Very long finish. Hey, Ben. Yes, your birth. I have that on my calendar. Your birthday is next week. Hopefully you'll be feeling better for your birthday. I hope you're feeling better. Yeah. YouTube, yeah, YouTube has issues with notifications. All right, let's see if I can work this on my new computer where I can add, share screen, share this window. Okay, it worked. Sweet. All right, well, we are going to have the Patreon giveaway for this month. The winner is going to get this Friend at Hand gift set with 2 of their Friend at Hand 13-year single malt whiskeys and the Friend at Hand Glencairn. And I will get that out this week to make sure you have it by Christmas. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and spin. Good luck, everybody. Oh, Gandy Road. Congratulations, Gandy. I will get this out to you this week. Make sure you have it in time for Christmas. We remove this. All right. Thank you, everybody who's been a Patreon too. I truly appreciate all the support. It allows me to keep sharing these samples out with you guys. I love sharing whiskey, and I like sharing all of this stuff. And it just that little bit just helps us pay for the shipping so I can get it more out to you guys. So next month, it sounds like I'm gonna do let's do a whiskey club flight. So I'll include this new one from Clonakilty, this virgin oak that tastes like this seriously does taste a lot like a double oak bourbon. So we'll include that one. I'll include the peated one that everybody that I really like. We'll include the Cologne. We'll include what else we got? I got a few more. I got a few more. I had a couple the Jameson Barrel Club. I'll include those. We'll make it, yeah, we'll have a nice little package of club whiskeys. Hey, hanging AZ. How are you now? Hope you're doing good. Oh, we are sipping on some bougie Irish whiskey. Went to the grocery store today and it was in the cookie aisle for my mom right next to her awful tea biscuits were Walker shortbread. The dark chocolate Tim Tams. Yeah, the Walker shortbread I usually snap up this time of year. Yeah, everybody congrats, Gandy. Congrats. All right. So before I let you guys go, don't forget next week, mark your calendars, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Instead of our usual time, we're going to have Sir Maurice O'Connell, who is the creator of the Liberator brand Irish whiskey. Sir Maurice is going to be joining us. You guys can ask him questions about his family history. You can ask about, the distillery itself, about his whiskey releases. We're going to be sipping on a few things. I'm really excited. This is one where he didn't have to send me anything. I have all his releases. I think there's only one bottle that I actually don't have, and it's because I couldn't remember enough German to navigate the website to get it. So I have everything else. I'm really excited. He's a fascinating individual, just the nicest person, and it's going to be a really, really good time. The If you're watching this week on Hello Again Whiskey Friends, I'm going to be their guest on Wednesday. I sent them a flight of Irish whiskey. I did include the Cullowen whiskey bus, so they're going to be trying that on camera. We'll see what they think of that, if they enjoy that one. Through the end of the year, I do plan on doing, I think my next live stream after Morris is going to be let's do the best Irish whiskey I've had of this year. I've kind of had this in my head and I haven't had a chance to really rank everything. So that'll give me time to kind of pull everything together and give you guys what the best has been of this year. That way, still got a few days before Christmas. If you want to get stuff out. Oh, you guys, will you be joining us in Anthony's? I might. I do need to go grab something to eat. Grab some more pizza. I only had a chance to eat a couple pieces, but Yeah, I might pop back on. I haven't seen Anthony in a long time. Hello again, whiskey friends, but that's whack. Oh, thank you, Mr. Mom. Thank you. All right. Go join. Kilco is live right now. Anthony is going to be live in 30 minutes. Later tonight, we have Livewire Whiskey going live at 9. Join all those guys. I will see you guys next week at 2 p.m. Hope to see all you. It's going to be a great time, great stream. Sláinte and enjoy the rest of your week, everyone.